Um, yeah, tell me again.
Okay, my father came to the U.S. from Mexico because of the Mexican Revolution, and they settled in Santa Ana, then moved to Carp Sept. And when he came, there was still a lot of racism. Some of the kids couldn't go to the main school or the high school. They had to go to the Liso school. And even in the theaters, when my dad came, the Mexicans had to sit on one side and the Anglos on the other side. So that's what I remember the most. And my dad, like I said, he never asked for any help. There was 7 of us, and he'd go to work on Saturday and Sunday, even when they're sick, and so he didn't ask for anything. So I was proud of that, you know.
Why did he come here?
He came because of the Mexican Revolution.
What was going on there?
In 1910,
why did he have to leave?
Okay, they left because at the time, the guerrillas were trying to overthrow Porfirio Diaz, you know, because they wanted just their land and liberty, and they did get him out. That's why my dad left rather, and my grandfather died years ago, so I didn't know him, and he didn't know his father that well. He was only like 5 years old when he came to the U.S., you know. So, but he became a citizen. Became a citizen. So we had a pretty good life. It was rough spots, but we all graduated from high school. A couple went to college. So.
And what did he end up doing?
Okay, he ended up working for the lemon. Remember the packing house? He worked there for many years, and then he worked on different ranches. You know.
Well, what were his values or his morals?
Oh my God. I think maybe his work ethic. You know, he never, like I said, he never asked for help. We were young kids at the time, and he, like I said, he went to work Saturday, Sunday, even when he was sick, and he didn't ask for help. He just did it the hard way. And he was happy he became a citizen. He was proud of it. I think he was mostly proud that he learned how to speak English. That was his main thing.
Well, what do you think about immigrants coming now and that they're criticized by the Trump supporters?
Well, that's a tough one, you know.
That's it.
I can see, I know they're breaking the law, but still they have rights. It's not a criminal matter, it's a civil matter, and I think they should have their rights in court. That's the way I feel, you know, and it kind of makes me sad where these little kids come, like, let's say the Dreamers, they come when they're 5 or 6 years old. They don't know Mexico. Their land is the U.S., and they're not getting, I always say they should be heard from instead of just kind of shunned, you know. That's.
Do you feel like the immigrants help the economy?
Almost definitely. I mean, who's going to pick the let's say, up in Salinas, who's going to pick the lettuce? I mean, you don't see too many people that don't want to pick that backbreaking job, you know. So, you know, they do help. I think they contribute quite a bit to the economy. I don't know if it's millions and billions of dollars. I'm not too sure, you know, on that, but I know they do. They'll add to the, you know, to the their taxes. Put it that way.
Yeah. And remind me your name.
Eddie Ramirez.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I use this for my Immigrant Stories project?
Why not, you know?
Okay. And do you have email?
No, I don't.
Okay, no problem. Hey, thanks a lot.
Okay.
Good interview. Oh, so you are?
I'm Jessica Ramirez, and I'm with Carpinteria Children's Project. I'm the Director of Family Services there.
And tell me, what are some of the stories you're hearing?
You know, families are going through a really difficult time right now. It's rippling down to just basic necessities that they're lacking due to the fear, anxiety, stress, and just the terror that's out in the community right now. So we're seeing families unable to even go grocery shopping. They're sending their kids to the store, and then the kids are coming home and saying, you know, I'm scared. Am I going to get pulled over because I look Mexican? We have parents who are not taking their children to school, and they're having neighbors walk them, and it's just been really tough for families right now. If any of the family members don't go to work, then that means that they don't have money to pay rent or their basic necessities or groceries, and so we're seeing a lot of food insecurity. So we've been supporting families with groceries and essentials deliveries, as well as, you know, they're missing rent, missing bills, and that leads to them, you know, being at verge of getting kicked out of their home. So I think the biggest thing, though, on top of everything, is the mental health side of things. Like, there's a lot of trauma that these families are experiencing. The kids are experiencing it. We've heard of kids not wanting to eat, can't sleep, especially the ones who have been directly impacted with someone in their family. And so it's just been tough, and I think that, these families really deserve dignity, and they deserve just to have their basic needs met. And that's food, that's, being able to put a roof over their heads, and being able to go to the grocery store and take their kids to school and join community events. And right now I think the families are feeling very isolated because of everything going on.
Um, how would you describe most of them? Trump supporters say they're criminals and all of that. What's your experience?
From my experience and the families that we work with and support through the Family Resource Center, the families that...
Actually, what were you saying?
Yeah, from my experience and the families that we've been working closely with through our Family Resource Center, these families are not criminals. A lot of them are trying to, get their documentation in order and do things the right way, what they keep getting told to do the right way. And it's been nearly impossible for many of them to get what they need to work and, just live a thriving life here. A lot of these families are fleeing drastic conditions in their home countries. And I think that, we want to say that America is the land for all and, life and liberty for all. But when it comes to our neighbors coming to our country to get asylum or just a safe home, then we're adding all these restrictions to them that are creating, I think, this sense of making them seem like criminals. But they're, the law says that being undocumented is not necessarily a criminal act, right? And so I think obviously what's going on right now is just a lot of rhetoric that is against the community. But from what I've seen in my experience working with these families directly, my personal family and, all of my loved ones, we're not criminals. We're here to, really build a life and, enjoy the fruits of our labor and our ancestors, because at the end of the day, this is everyone's land. It's not owned by anyone. Even the Europeans who came here were immigrants, at one point. So I think really just making sure that we're telling stories of these families. They're just working people. They go to our parenting classes, they're trying to do the best for their children and raise, thriving children who can bring and add into our society and just be good citizens. And I think that that rhetoric that is going on right now, that they're criminals, it's far from the truth. Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
So I'm the director of family services at Carp Children's Project, and I oversee our Family Resource Center. So just making sure that we're meeting the needs of the community, whether that's food insecurity or case management or connection to mental health resources. We have a monthly food bank for families, and it's open to the whole community. We help pregnant moms, we help grandparents, and so we're really just here as a hub for carpinteria if anyone needs any type of support. We have a lot of partners on our site that can offer therapy. We have hospice on our site. So I would like to say, we're kind of like the hub of carpinteria to really just get any services that are needed.
Well, some people would say, well, they should go, the immigrants now should go through the process to get citizenship like everybody else, but it's not easy to do that. Can you tell me some of the problems?
Yeah. I mean, as I said, a lot of the families that we're working with are trying to do it the right way, but not only is it difficult, there's a lot of requirements, but it's also very costly. So if these families are already struggling to put a roof over their family's head or even food on their table, then, $14,000 to start the process is nearly impossible for them to do that. So it's a lot of financial need, but also just I think the system is broken, and there needs to be an easier way and an easier path to do it the right way, because it's nearly impossible for a lot of families. And there have been some who have been lucky and, were able to do it, and they have the financial sustainability to be able to make those big, payments to start those processes. But that's not the case for many families. And it's not easy. We have families who are doing it the right way, going to their court appointments, and then they're being taken as they're leaving, and the judge is saying, okay, you're good to go, here's your next date. And then as they leave, there's ICE agents there just taking them. So I think there's also a lot of fear around that. Well, if I do it the right way, I can also just be taken. Am I just putting myself at more risk, And so there's a lot of reasons, obviously, but I think it's the whole system. I think needs to be fixed. It's definitely broken.
Is very articulate. Do you know what the 14,000 goes to? Could you say it? So it costs 14,000. Is it mainly attorneys and other things?
That's part of it, but there's also
Could you? They won't hear this. Could you say the $14,000 goes to?
Yeah. So the $14,000, and it ranges. Every case is different. I am not a legal expert, so I don't know how much everything costs. But I think from experience and what I've been hearing is the $14,000 is just to start with, and some of those fees go to legal fees. But part of that is also just that documentation and even applying. And so we've also heard of some community members getting scammed by attorneys. So we had one family member who was able to locate an attorney in LA. She had to pay $3,000. Turns out that they weren't a real attorney, and she just lost $3,000. And she's already experiencing homelessness. And so, you know, they're trying to do it the right way, and they're getting scammed, and they're getting taken at the courts. And so, really, again, like I keep saying, the system is broken, and there just needs to be a better path.
Okay, what was like going somebody has to do on it? Oh, could you say something like, these are people that don't have any money or coming here to work for minimum wage and they can't come up with it?
Yeah. A lot of the community members that are coming here, you know, fleeing their homelands, they just want to provide for their families, and they're coming here with pretty much nothing, building from the ground up. And so when we're already experiencing, you know, this, even our own citizens are struggling to put food on their table and, you know, buy a home. And then now we expect these people who are coming here to work to then also have to struggle, but then also not be able to access any benefits that, you know, the state or the federal administration has to offer. I think that just creates even more challenges and barriers for them to be able to, again, do it the right way. So I think from the beginning, it's just tough for these families, and they're obviously fleeing their countries for a reason, right? They're trying to provide a better life for their families, or we've had some of our families flee because they're being threatened, and if they don't, you know, that may lead to death. And so it's not, you know, we hear this rhetoric of them coming to steal our jobs and them coming to just steal our resources, but I think all these families want to do is just live a happy, thriving life with their families.
Are they afraid of getting into an argument with their neighbor because then they may be reported by them, or are they afraid that others, like pro-Trump people, might report them? Can you tell me what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that these families, since even before the administration was in office, I think we're already experiencing a lot of racism and hate, you know, at restaurants. And we see videos online even of them being yelled at for speaking Spanish or speaking in whatever native language they have, and telling them to speak English. And so, again, I think that just comes from that rhetoric that this current administration just continues to spew, that these people are bad, that these people are criminals, that they're evil. And then, you know, the community member, especially, you know, people who support this administration, believe that and then act in that way when they're out in the community.
I think some Trump supporters appreciate that these people are farm workers and help the economy, but still insist they go through it the right way, but they can't if they don't have. Can you say anything about along those lines?
I mean, yeah, everyone obviously has their own beliefs when it comes to that, whether, you know, yes, we need you for your labor, but do it the right way. We're going to wrap it up. But I mean, yeah, I don't think I have much to say about that specifically. I really just want to speak on what our experiences are with the families we're working with and what we're hearing from them specifically. And it's just, yeah, I think we just really need to have a clear understanding about what America is and what we want this country to be, because the way that we are living life right now is not the way that it was built to be. So
Thanks so much. Can I use this for Immigrant Stories?
Yes.
Well, thank you. And Jessica Ramirez.
Jessica Ramirez.
Nice to see you, Jessica. Talk to you.
Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Make your vote count, everybody!
Yeah. Why are you for 50?
Why when?
Why are you for 50? Proposition 50.
Oh, well, 50, I think is a way of solving all the other. When I got here, I thought, well, wait a minute. What are we here for? There's signs covering so many different issues. And I thought, well, wait a minute. Which ones? And then I thought, wait a minute. This is it. 50 is a way to resolve many of these other issues.
And how so?
Well, because it'll give us our vote again. Give us our vote again. That would be the main thing.
Thank you. That was good. Appreciate it. Robert, what are your thoughts about immigrants?
Well, my grandmother came over on the boat from Ireland, and my grandfather. I never met my grandfather, but my mother I did. And she was very precious to the whole family. She was very kind to me. I'll never forget kindness on her part toward me. And I meet people. The thing that is really disturbing is that it's people who have color, some kind of cloth color, off-white, who are being
Buddy Allen from the Bridgewater.
what would I say, crucified on this situation. And
I'm sorry. Say that line again.
morning, guys. People who are darker in color, and it doesn't not necessarily mean black, but the light brown. But people like that are being crucified just because of their color. It does, and when you consider all of the beneficial things that immigrants have contributed to this country, including building horns for your cars and vehicles and stuff like that, so they can beep for the situation that's going on here. It's just and you see the hatred in this this group of people who are the word I'm looking for. When you see the hatred, it's just shocking and disgusting. And I'm glad to see some people are really fighting back. For instance, Gavin Newsom has picked up on something that I think is very smart, and has closed down the big mouth of our current leadership, particularly the president, substantially, along with this madman. I think his name is Abraham, who's in the in with that group. Anyhow, the country was built by immigrants, and what is the problem? I just don't see it. How is the problem with people who want to work, who are not trying to steal jobs? They want a good life for themselves. Makes perfect sense. They want to work, and they did work. And I see it all the time in the neighborhood that I'm in. I see people who are darker in color, apparently Hispanic, who work hard and are building things. So anyhow, I think they deserve a chance.
Well, thank you, Robert. Appreciate it. Can I use this for my Immigrant Stories project?
Sure, you guys. It's pretty long-winded.
Would you care to say something?
Yes,
Hold on.
because
I'm sorry. Yeah.
he covered most of it. All I can say is we're all in this together, all of us. Black, white, brown, yellow.
So what? So we need to work together.
We're all in this together, this whole country, this whole world.
Yeah. But what's the?
That's all.
Oh, that's all you want to say. Okay.
I mean,
Well,
that
we are-
covers it, as far as I'm concerned.
Thank you. Well, but thanks so much. Well, why don't you start off by sharing some?
We wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for the immigrants of coming over today. My parents came here from Europe after World War II. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for immigrants. We used to welcome our immigrants. This administration doesn't understand that immigrants pick their food and clean their mansions, and they better start waking up or they will have to clean their own mansions and pick their own damn food. I'm done.
Okay, that was good. Can I use that for Immigrant Stories?
Sure.
Go ahead. Andrea, any thoughts?
Hang on a second.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
We're hanging on a second.
Oh, sure. Wow.
Both my father and my husband's father were immigrants. And if they hadn't been allowed to come in, I wouldn't be here. Immigrants are the bedrock of our society. Some immigrants who are able to get a college education become the bedrock for our sciences and our architecture, and they're really important people. No matter if they clean bathrooms or they help bring about solutions for cancer, we need our immigrants.
Well, and have anything to say about the fact that it's not easy for immigrants to get citizenship? It costs money. There's obstacles.
Well, see, we were concerned about this regime because his father, we're not sure if his father ever became a citizen. He just sort of fell into it because
You're talking about Trump?
No.
Whose father?
My husband's father and my father. My father, his father became a citizen, and we assume that means that his children became citizens. But we're worried that, with the regime that's in, well, we aren't citizens. And so it creates fear even in established people who have been here for generations. And this is not right. We need to have security in our own home, and we don't have it now. And that's not right.
Thank you. Can I use this for my Immigrant Story project? Thanks a lot.
It's going to be in the Coastal View?
No.
Show me what democracy looks like! Show me what democracy looks like! Show me what democracy looks like! Make your vote count! Yes! On 50!
If our country was born on, we're all immigrants, and everybody deserves a fair chance at a better life. And this is the best place on the planet to start a better life and to have the opportunities that you can't get anywhere else. And all the immigrants, so all, our fellow humans and fellow man, and we all deserve a chance, and this is the perfect place to start that chance and to have that chance. And it's up to Americans to give them that chance, because that's what makes our country so strong. We're the strongest, most powerful, richest country in the world because of immigrants, We're all immigrants. That's how it all started, So I just hope that they change their ways in the White House, that's all.
Well put. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Can I use this for Immigrant Stories?
Oh, sure, if you want to.
Thank you. Do you want to say anything?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
What are your thoughts?
Give me a moment. Let me.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I think we have to look at attacks on our freedoms and attacks on the press. Just because we disagree doesn't mean that we don't want a free press. Doesn't mean that we need to shun our neighbors in our communities, have them fearful. Sure, we understand they came here and they didn't have the proper documentation, but my ancestors certainly didn't have the proper documentation. And if you're throwing people out of the country because they're doing illegal things, then be careful if you're running red lights or cheating on your taxes or anything else. I mean, we need to make people aware that there are limited ways to become citizens, and we're making that smaller instead of welcoming people that are already here, contributing to society, paying Social Security, never collecting it. We need to look at race.
What, but may I use this for my Immigrant Stories project?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well said.
All right.
So, hold on. What are your thoughts, Eric?
On immigrants?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think the first thing is that this country is built on immigrants. Immigrants have made this country great. If you don't agree with that, try reading the inscription on the Statue of Liberty. That's exactly what it talks about. And
do you know what it says offhand?
it says, give me your, I don't know the exact words, you're tired, you're hungry, you're yearning, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. That's what built our country into a great country. So it's worked pretty well, and we really need to keep it working.
Excellent. I'm going to get my drone shot at 11.
Okay.
Anything else you want to say?
No,
Okay.
I'm glad to see people out here. Always
Do you have anything you could say about that? It's not that easy to get your papers. These are poor people that are no attorneys.
Well, let's remember that the immigrants today, besides that we need them, they're human beings just like us, and they're people who are just trying to make a better life for their families. And I think it's kind of cruel and self-defeating for us just to say, oh no, go away, go away. No, everybody has the right to find a good life for themselves, and if we're smart, we'll make it, this is the place where the hard-working people find the best life for themselves.
And so it can be a win-win for immigrants.
Absolutely.
Could you say that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a win-win. Helping immigrants have a better life, that they want to work hard, that helps all of us who are already here. So,
Well put.
okay.
Can I use this for immigrants?
Yeah, do whatever you want.
You should say, yeah, but you got to take me out to lunch now.
Oh, yeah, well,
I'm kidding.
okay.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, what did you say?
Immigrant rights are human rights.
Well, what does that mean?
That everybody is the same. Everybody is equal. Everybody deserves fair treatment and good treatment and everything. Health, water, food, housing, everything.
Well, thank you.
You're
Do
welcome.
you have anything you'd care to say?
Before you do that, let me think. Yeah, I think immigrants deserve the same rights as all of us. And I think at one time it was easier to legally come in. I don't think it's easy anymore. And I think they're looking for a better life. I support that.
And while it's harder to become an immigrant now, we still need them as workers, right? Could you say something like that?
We definitely, Carpentry is an agricultural town, and there are so many immigrants working in agriculture, in the, all of agriculture. So yes, we need them. Actually.
Well, thank you. Can I get your comment? Sorry to stand in front. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yes. Well, I am a practicing Catholic Christian, and the Jewish Christian tradition talks about immigrants as being that we all are immigrants in a way. We are all the same. We are all children of God, and we deserve the same considerations and kindness as other people. And it's not easy to leave your home country. These are people who have suffered, and they have darn good reasons to be here, and they're enriching our lives with their sacrifices. And I'm glad that we have them. Certainly every country has a right to secure borders, so that's true too, but somehow that has to be balanced.
I'm sorry, to just start that sentence over. Every country has the right start over.
Every country has the right to secure their borders, but that has to be balanced with human dignity and kindness and recognition of that we're all children of the same God.
Okay, thanks a lot. Can I use that for Immigrant Stories?
Yeah.
Good show. Thanks, ladies. So, whatever you want to say, yeah.
Well, I'm for the immigrants because I am also an immigrant. I'm a naturalized citizen, so it's very important to me, and that people are treated with respect and kindness and dignity, right? So I think that's just important to me, and I think this administration is doing everything wrong.
Do you have any messages to Trump supporters why they should support immigrants?
Well, the immigrants are the backbone of this country. The immigrants work harder than anybody else in this country to do jobs that nobody else wants to do, and they've worked so hard. And to me, they're all very honest citizens, just trying to make a living, trying to do right by their families, and they're not criminals. I love that. Right? The majority of these people are not criminals, trying to make a good life for themselves here. And that's, So I just think the cruelty is wrong, no matter what. People should be treated with dignity, and cruelness needs to stop.
Where did you come from, or your family?
Oh, I was born in Korea and immigrated here when I was a young girl. And I became a naturalized citizen. Me and my whole family became naturalized citizens. And that's also in jeopardy right now. That could be taken away at any time. They're deporting people no matter what, like just on any cause, right? Or putting them in detention centers before looking at anybody's papers. So, just think, be nice.
Well put. When your family became naturalized citizens, but it's harder to do that, particularly if you don't have money now. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Oh, yeah. No, it's very hard because I think the government's making it very hard. They're making it almost impossible.
They goes work.
Probably have to pay a lot of money, and who can afford that to do that? So I think people are scared. I think people are even just scared to come now because they know they will be put in a detention center and treated like dirt. So, that's...
Okay, well, thank you so much.
No, thank you. Well, thank you.
Can I use that for my Immigrant Stories project?
Why not? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Would you care to say something, too?
Sure. She put me up to it.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm not an immigrant, but my grandparents were, so...
Where did they come from?
From...
Can you... just a little... Yeah, right there is good. Okay. That way it doesn't block your face.
Okay. From Russia, and... they came here to make a better life for themselves and their children, and that's what America's at the hex and made of and made for. And the treatment of people who are here now is horrifying. I also have a child who's a naturalized citizen who's adopted from China. It's scary and wrong and disgusting, and I hate everything that they're doing. And a lot of people in the media have said the cruelty is the point, and I don't understand it, but I think it's true.
Well, thanks a lot. You're articulate. Can I use this for my Immigrant Stories page?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, what?
If we were in some of these countries like South America and Mexico and stuff, we'd do our best to get over here and have our families get a better life. And you can't blame them. And we just need a better process to help these guys. And they're a big boon to us too, because they do all our hard labor, and they're gentle people for the most part. Most of the people I know are very gentle people and not troublemakers at all. So they're certainly welcome here, and we've got plenty of room. This is a huge country.
Hey, well put. Can I use this for my Immigrant Rights Project?
Sure.
Sure. Hold up.
Yeah, I support immigrant rights because we have always done this. Well, that's not true. I get that. There are times in our history that have been disgraceful when that hasn't happened, and we've done terrible things to immigrants. This is a country based on immigration, and people can come over and go through the legal process, and this is who we are. This is who we are.
Except now it's not easy for poor people to do the legal process. Any thoughts about that?
So we need to fix that.
Yeah.
Come on over.
Nothing. The body not very true. We're losing that.
Something.
Just get out of it.
What high story? Like the thief we saw.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that your cottage did.
why?
Where's her?
Good. The fucking this
They girl. Morning, Larry.
Christy. Hi. Bye.
He jumped in. Touch it, our king. That's funny.
Oh.
Yes. We can intimidate.
Spider. No. Treat me alright. And I've been better. Attention.
Yeah, why do you support immigrant rights?
Well, we're a nation of immigrants. That's how the country was built. And the people that come here want a better life, and they're hardworking people, and they deserve a chance. Just like our founding fathers had a chance. So it's as simple as that. And decent human respect for other people. So that's why I support that.
Anything you would say to Trump supporters that say they should go through the normal legal process, which is not easy to do and costs money?
Yeah. Well, I think they should make the process better or more efficient, and they know that. They know that because of the farm workers who can't come and get a legitimate job. They would do that if they could get their work permits easily and without hassle. They come here to work. That's what they want. So they need to make that process smoother, and our current president has even said that. It's just they need to get off the subject and make it right, make it right, make it easier, and people will abide by that.
Really good.
And thank you. Sure. Well, anything you want to elaborate on? The current President Trump said we need to reform. He said we need to reform. Yeah. Can you say that again?
Yeah. Well, our current president said that we need better reform so farm workers can easily get permits to come in and work. That's just an act of Congress, and they need to step up and do that. Make it right, make it legal, make it right, and these people will be a productive part of our society. Instead of having to hide just to make money to survive. They have to get off their tail and get it done. So make the laws better, easier, and you'll have a good result.
And can I use this for my Immigrant Stories project?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tell me, why do you support immigrant rights?
Because I'm an immigrant.
What was that?
Because I'm an immigrant.
And where did you come from?
Guatemala.
And why did you come here?
Because I fell in love with my husband while he was traveling. He was learning Spanish in Guatemala, and we met there.
And were you able to become a citizen?
Yes.
And so you went through the process. Some people now have a hard time going through the process.
I know.
Can you say that, or any thoughts about that?
Well, I think immigrants are what they make these countries incredible. And I think for all the people who are already here, for all the people who are our neighbors and our friends who live here for several years, they should, make it easy for them to become citizens, because they're already part of this country. They're already part of our communities.
Yeah.
And I think that it's not fair that they pay taxes and they work really hard every day and then do all the jobs that any white person in this country wanted to do, and they don't have the opportunity to be citizens. Yeah. I think it's terrible. And it's not right, because I feel like this country uses immigrants for the hard work, for all the jobs that nobody wants to do, and then deport them.
and then treat them like criminals. And, in every group there is always, people who are not doing the right things. But most people come to this country because they want to support their families, because they want to have life and live with dignity. They don't come here because they want to become criminals. And, all these ideas are so wrong. And I think it is important that we continue fighting for not only immigrant rights, human rights, and women's rights, because we're losing your rights. Everybody, every day. This government, is one stupid thing after another, it's hard to keep up with all the stupidity. And what they're doing right now, ICE is terrible. I grew up during Civil War back in Guatemala, and they used to do that. The army used to come to our communities and take people, but they didn't wear masks. They show their faces at the very least. Now, these ICE people are coming. They know what they're doing is wrong. They know what they're doing is illegal because they don't show their faces. They don't have access. They don't have warrants. It's kidnapping. And kidnapping is illegal around the world. So what is happening, what we're seeing in this country right now is right. I can't believe it. And I don't understand how more, look at us. It's not a big group. What everybody's doing. While people are just waiting for things to get real bad to do something. I think it's very important to be involved, and we engage and protesting, counseling, and also stand up for my neighbors,
You're very articulate. Thank you for your thought.
Okay. Well,
I think we can probably stop about here.
Thanks for being here.
I don't really know, but I think we're just... Can I use it for my Immigrant Stories project? Thank you. Very articulate. What are your thoughts about immigrant rights?
Well, for me, it really comes down to just human rights and humanity. I just don't like anybody, regardless of where they are or where they come from, deserves basic dignity. And for me, the biggest issue is just how people are treated. Whatever process they have to go through, they should just be treated with dignity. And that's all it is. I just don't like how they're being vilified by people. And I just want to see them, just like I said, treated right.
So does there need to be immigrant reform to make it easier, less expensive? Or what are your thoughts?
I think the reform simply needs to be that if people have a common reason to come to this country, they need to be put into a system that treats them with every right of any human on earth. And I guess right now the reform just simply needs to be people need to talk differently. People need to stop and think about how they're talking about other people from other countries as if something's wrong with them, and there is not. And people need to be less and need to have a little more empathy. Any reform I see, and this isn't saying anything too concrete, is just make sure people are treated right and people are more empathetic towards everybody's causes.
Was it your wife I just interviewed?
Yeah.
Did you say where your ancestors were from and that you met your wife in Guatemala?
Yeah, right. Well, I'm a third generation, Italian Irish. So our family's been here a while. But I took a trip when I was in 2002. I traveled through Latin America because I just wanted to learn a language and see a different culture. And I spent a year there, and I met my wife in Guatemala. And we met there in 2003, and then we stayed together, and she came here in 2006 and became a citizen in about 2012. So we've been together ever since.
Are you concerned? Is this your daughter, Tim?
Yeah.
Are you concerned for them at all?
Well, I never was, but seeing what's happening, I can't believe I am concerned.
Did you start with saying I wasn't concerned about them before, but now it's something like...
No, I wasn't really ever concerned about them before. I mean, you think since you're a citizen and everything else, but considering that people are being just called out for just the color of their skin, what could happen even on accident if, I don't think they would ask any questions if they saw my wife in a certain situation, just take her in. It's frightening to think about that happening.
Do you have any arguments you can make to pro-Trump supporters why they should be more sympathetic to immigrants?
Yeah. I would just say, if you're a Christian, think about what Jesus would do. I don't think he would see people this way. People should not be vilified the way they're being vilified, as if they're all criminals and if they don't belong. Just think about how you would want your own sons or daughters to be treated. That's it. I mean, I just don't think you're truly a Christian if you're doing things that probably Jesus wouldn't do.
Very well put. Anything else you want to say?
No, I think I'm good. Yeah, thanks. No, I appreciate you doing the story. Where's the story going to be?
Well, I'll tell you in a sec, but, yeah. Do I have your permission to use this for Immigrant Stories? It's a social media thing on Facebook and Instagram.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can I follow it? What's the...
yeah, so I'm Larry Nimmer.
Okay.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts about immigrant rights? Do you have any thoughts?
I think they deserve rights because they're the foundation of America and they're a big, important part of our country. And what people do and how people treat them is very unfair.
And do you have any thoughts how people should, if their skin is any darker, they shouldn't be treated any differently?
No.
Can you talk about that?
I don't think skin color doesn't matter. It's only how you act because your appearance isn't a part of you.
And some Trump supporters say immigrants are criminals, but they're not necessarily. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Immigrants aren't criminals. They're just people looking for opportunities.
Nice. Anything else you want to say?
That's it.
Well, thank you. Well put. And can I use this for my Immigrant Stories video?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Great. Yeah.
Well done.
Sounds good, Liz.
We luck.
Say, tell me, why do you support immigrant law?
I support immigrant rights because I support people's rights. And we are all, at some point, have been immigrants. And how a country treats all the people in their country is representative of what kind of people we are. So we have to be good to everyone, regardless of where they were born.
And so I'm aiming these videos at Trump supporters. Do you have any reasons that you can give that why immigrants should be, to convince Trump supporters that immigrants are good and should not be vilified?
Well, I don't have the data available to me, but from an economic standpoint, the data has been clear for decades, and that is that we need immigrant workers in order to sustain our economy. So this fallacy that somehow immigrants take money away from naturalized Americans is simply a lie, and the data proves it to be a lie. So from a purely economic basis, that's nonsense. But from a humanitarian basis, to ostracize or mistreat anyone is inhumane and unacceptable.
Some Trump supporters say immigrants should go through the process like everybody else to become a citizen, but it's very expensive and hard. Can you say something? Explain.
Well, yes. Okay, so the process by which people earn their citizenship, quote unquote, legally, was horribly damaged by the first Trump administration. And it was almost impossible to recover from that. But to go through that process, my own daughter-in-law, who's from Germany, married to my nephew, could not get citizenship in this country for 6 years and had to go to Germany to get her American citizenship because the American system is irreparably broken. So to get your citizenship legally is virtually impossible.
So we need immigrant reform.
Totally.
Could you say we need it?
We need immigrant reform. We need policy change to allow people to be legally given their citizenship immediately.
Trump supporters would also say they're a drain on social services.
Untrue.
Okay, what are your...
Okay, so the idea that they're a drain on social services, again, is utter nonsense. Among other things, they are contributing tax dollars that support those services. Huge amounts, billions and billions of dollars that working immigrants in this country are contributing to social services. So they are not draining those services. They are, in fact, feeding those services.
Could you say their money goes to the government through work so there's Social Security?
Well, yes, because those workers, regardless of whether or not they're citizens, money is going into, as being paid to the taxes of the United States, goes into into Social Security, goes into all of those things, which in turn pays to support everyone here. And we, people who are born here, need their money as much as they need our support.
And just to make it clear, could you say money is taken out of the paycheck?
Yes.
Some workers took.
Yes, okay. So money is taken out of the paychecks of immigrants to pay for the services that they utilize. In other words, they're paying for them. They are not getting them for free.
Well, thank you. Glad your permission is this.
100%.
And what's your name?
April Garrett.
And would you care to give me your email?
Sure.
You could just say it, no.
All right. April Garrett, edu@gmail.com.
GARRETT.
2 R's and 2 T's.
Thank you, April.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, better not call that.
Okay.
Why do you support immigrant rights?
Because they're our neighbors. They're working hard. You know, it has nothing to do with rapists and murderers. And having ICE come into my neighborhood, they were on the 150. It does not feel like my country anymore. So kindness and humanity. I just can't get over the lack of humanity. I don't see anything bad about immigrants. I don't know what.
Well, Trump supporters would say immigrants should come in and go through the legal process like everybody else, except it's so expensive and hard and roadblock. Could you get something along those lines?
The ones that are trying to do it legally, they're picking up also. You see people with green cards that are doing things the way they're supposed to, and they're being picked up. So that's not an excuse. We have allowed immigration forever. I mean, we've turned our heads and let them come and establish themselves just like the Irish or any other country that sent immigrants here. And they have done a beautiful job of making themselves important to the community. And then they get this. And they pay, a lot of them pay Social Security that they never collect because they don't have the right, they're giving a false number. Social Security number.
So how does that work? That they don't have a Social Security, they give a fake number?
Yes,
Did you tell me that?
Well, to get employment, they have to use a Social Security number, and they give a false one. Then when collecting comes along, they don't collect it. It is just there for, we use it, for us.
It's a good word.
Yeah.
They're also not criminals overall, like they're nothing along those lines.
No. Some of the most beautiful people family people and friendly and loving and real with good values, I don't see why we would exclude them.
Or you've been very articulate.
I don't smear it around.
He's here and there, perhaps. Your name?
Mary Louise Sanchez.
Sanchez.
Yes. I stood there and told these kids at the young men that were working, they said they were DEA or, but they were working for Trump.
You mean with the ice rink?
Yes, and I stood there, they were by 150 and 192, and they were some masked, some not, and I tried to explain to them, this is... But how can you do this? How can you forget your humanity and it help that side that is trying to... It's just often. I don't know how to say things, but
Good point. Can I use this for my Immigrant Stories project?
Sure.
Thank you. Sure. You want to give me your email? And
sure.
You can just say it and I'll have it referred. That last part I didn't get.
Okay.
Can you tell me your email one more time, then I'll throw.
Okay.
And your name is Mary?
My name is Mary Louise Sanchez, mlsanchez@me.com.
Okay. And you were telling me?
And we have avocados, and the family that lives on our ranch and has worked for us for 45 years. His father worked first, and now he does, and he raised his family here. That was a good one. They are citizens, all of them. But a brother comes and helps us in the summer, and he's got a green card. But I don't know if that'll work for getting him back and forth. But anyway, they're the best people ever. I mean, the values, the family, somebody you can trust that cares so much about the trees and the environment. I mean, we're not organic. I wish we were, but we would go that way if we can. But anyway, I just can't believe that it makes it hard for them.
How so, man?
I think everybody's afraid. If they're brown-skinned, they're afraid. My father-in-law was born in New Mexico. He was the son of immigrants, but he was born in New Mexico in 1907, and he didn't have a birth certificate, neither did my mom, because they were born at home. And he was afraid. But in 1969, he got his birth certificate. So I feel for people. He was the sweetest man I've ever met.
So if you say something like the family that works for us,
yes,
best family ever, like they're still nervous.
Certainly. Nobody, I don't think anybody is safe. I mean, they're going after white comedians. We can't. What is the phrase? They came first for the socialists, but I wasn't a socialist, so I didn't respond. And then I didn't get involved. And then they came for the Catholics. I'm not sure what it was. Have you heard that phrase?
I don't know.
Oh, it's wonderful. And then they came for me, and there was nobody to stand up for me. I can't think of the fellow's name, but he was a Protestant minister. And it was in It was in Europe during
that and have someone leave that. Or
they came first for the socialists, then for the, I don't know, maybe it was Catholics, and he didn't even respond then. And then he was a Protestant, and they, of course, wanted to get rid of religion. Or they want to push it on you, whatever. It really is. And I tried to tell those fellows that were working for DEA, but really for Trump, that in the Nuremberg trials or after the Holocaust and all those trials they did, following orders what did not get you off. It was not an excuse for inhumanity.
All right, so I forgot, we're Betty Brown. Can you say you're Betty Brown's daughter, just so I know?
Okay, yes. I'm Betty Brown's daughter.
And Brown.
Yeah, so when I was born, they lived right there on the corner of Linden and, well, not on the corner. They lived in that parking lot and ran a motel.
Yeah.
And the freeway had just gone through that year. And
so why do you support immigrant rights?
Oh, I'm an immigrant.
Hey.
And I have met immigrants here that have done twice the work that I could do in one day. They've been generous, loving, supportive of all our needs, more than I ever did for this country. So they put me to shame in a way. I feel sad because they are now leaving their home in the morning to go to work. We work together sometimes. And they are afraid to get out of the house, but they need to make the money as well. They all have work permits. I mean, when my husband went to Europe, work permits are important. They are legal, and they have passports. Those are legal. So this manipulation of the human mind that's going on right now in our humanity is something we have to be extremely aware of. And I advise people, if I can use your template, to read visionforhumanity.org, which is an operation or an organization that keeps statistics on the truth of the so-called violence that the immigrants perpetrate on us, alleged. And there are numbers taken from all over the world. And America doesn't do very good in their truth-telling. That is what breaks my heart the most, really.
Trump supporters say immigrants should go through the process like others have, but now it's a lot more expensive and they don't have the money and the time. Any thoughts about that?
Who doesn't have the money and the time?
Well, immigrants, when they come here, many immigrants don't have much money. They don't have money to pay attorneys to help them through the immigration process, but they're still needed to work in the avocado orchards and everywhere else.
Well, the answer to that, in my opinion, is keep it simple, keep the paperwork simple, allow for steps between employer, employee, and consulate to be smooth and functional, really, is what we need to do. We need to make that process functional. There are wonderful people working at the consulates that are very willing to do the right thing. So to sow fear, which slows down humanity, is really counterproductive.
Anything else you'd like to say to convince Trump supporters they should be more sympathetic to immigrants?
I think the people who voted for President Trump had the unfortunate idea, which we now find out are based on deceit, as I understand. And I think we should heal the nation in a way that those people will feel hurt by giving their trusted vote in a trusted process, and our representatives in Congress might take that into consideration to create a platform for people to voice their frustrations and their pain and their what now feelings, because that's really what it is about right now. There is a slump in the hope of people's hearts, and Congress is an elected body that has to get off their backs and start looking and thinking about our descendants, our grandchildren, and what this earth is telling us.
So they should vote for immigration reform, you know? Well, there needs to be immigration reform.
Yes. Yeah. And I guess your question was, should there be immigration reform? And I definitely think there should be. And
there should be what?
That there should be immigration reform. And I think we're going to have to have conversations with lawyers who have these people coming knocking at their doors with all their despair. And we should ask the hard question, why are these lawyers afraid for their job, for their status, for their reputation? Why is this going on? What kind of negative influence is our humanity going through right now? As in this book, When No Thing Works. This woman was a Hawaiian senator for 40 years, right? She realized that politics were starting to get to a point where they weren't productive anymore. All people did was talk. And the productivity, she said, is off the political table and on the spiritual table of let's put our heads together and let's feel for the next generation. Let's really have compassion and sympathy for what we need to leave behind for the next generation. And it's like climbing a hill. You got to go through the mud, through the weeds. But if you want to have quick results, you're not going to get to the top where you're going to see the horizon and you're going to build together communities of hope and of productivity for what works, is what she's saying. Her name is Norma Wang, W-A-N-G, and I highly recommend for people to read When No Thing Works.
Well, thank you. Well said. Your name is, if you care to share it with me.
I am Jesse Alexander's niece.
Oh, Jesse Alex.
Yeah. Well, I mean by
marriage.
Yeah, by marriage.
And would you care to give me your email?
My email. I took my email off. I couldn't.
Okay.
I couldn't handle it.
And come in. Stand by. You wanted to say what?
Well, that immigration didn't. It's been a problem for so many years that we have, as a country, taken advantage of immigrants, and it's not new, and it has needed to be reformed for many, many, many years, and now to have turned our backs and allowed it to get to this point where there are so many here that have not been able to get here legally, or not. They needed a place to go, and the system was so slow they couldn't go through it, and we allowed it and made them feel safe here, and now this is unconscionable.
I agree. And I think people on both sides of the issue agree there need to be immigration reform. Could you say that?
We have needed immigration reform forever, maybe since we came here, right? The Indians, right?
And could you say people on both sides of the political spectrum agree there needs to be
Right. It's not Democrat or Republican, it's people. We have needed to make it humane, make it reasonable to immigrate to this country. But it's difficult at this point with such a big problem to deal with it. But we have to start. It might not be perfect, but we have to start. We have to make steps towards a just society.
And could you say we have to make a start towards immigration reform?
Yes, we have to make a start towards immigration reform.
Okay, well done.